got a follow-up question here from an article we published about land valuations. And the owner here asks how individual lot owners find out if they have a tax liability. Is it possible that when it's time to sell the lot, that such a liability to the state government could have accumulated? So this question is not really a body corporate question, but it does relate to the body corporate land valuation process. So I'll talk about it in that context. And it is important to say that BCsystems is not a tax agent and we don't give tax advice. So take this with a grain of salt. But my understanding of how the land tax works in Queensland is that each property is valued by the state from time to time. So if you live in a house, your land valuation might be $300,000, and eventually you'll get a letter from the state government telling you that valuation has gone up or down. And that's how the government works out what your land holding is worth, and they use that for tax purposes and also for local council rate purposes. So with body corporate, because you don't own a house block, you own a part of a big block of land and it's all one piece of property, the body corporate receives a land valuation from the state government, from the valuer general, and that is divided among the unit owners based on their interest schedule lot entitlements. So that's like the number of shares that each owner has in the common property. So if those are equal, then it's quite straightforward. If you've got, say, 10 units and the land valuation is $2 million, each unit has a personal share of $200,000. So the 10 of those add up to the total site valuation. The body corporate doesn't have a direct land valuation for its common property. The common property amount is distributed to each of the unit owners. So that's how property owners in a body corporate can work out how much the value of their land is worth, and that's used for tax purposes. In terms of receiving an actual tax notice, my understanding of that is that the Queensland Office of State Revenue, so our state tax collection service, will issue notices to people. So my understanding is that they will find you because they know who you are and they know what your values are. But if that's not the case or you're unsure, I would suggest you contact the Queensland Office of State Revenue and make that inquiry. And there is also an issue where some states will look at the valuation of land in other states and work out your total land holdings in the country, and then do some fancy maths to work out what you should be paying in state taxes. But the only involvement that the body corporate has in that process is to give you the total valuation for the whole body corporate property and allow you therefore to work out what your share of that common property is worth.